welcome to Policing TV. This is the third video in a series of three in our Policing Leaders series. I'm here with Hertfordshire Chief Constable Andy Prophet. Introductions took place in videos 1 and 2. I'm going to go straight into the topic for this third video, Andy, which we're going to start with the National Police Chiefs Council portfolio that you lead on antisocial behaviour. You've led it, I think, for the past roughly 7 or 8 years. So well experienced in leading this particular portfolio. Tell us about the portfolio and the work that you do.
Thank you. So yeah, tackling antisocial behaviour, it's something for policing, it's something for partners, and it's something for communities. I think that's the first thing I've learned over the last 8 years. Antisocial behaviour can take many forms. At its worst, it's targeted, it's vicious, it undermines lives and communities. And there have been tragedies where we've collectively not got our response right and people have taken their own lives. Through to one-off annoying behaviour. And the trick for policing, community groups, charities, councils and others, is to correctly assess it and correctly respond to it. My job is to coordinate that learning, best practice and activity across policing and hopefully across those local partnerships.
And so you're not taking decisions in the main on behalf of other chief constables, but rather you're providing guidance and suggestions to other forces and indeed your own force on what key elements in tackling antisocial behaviour might be, and indeed I'm sure on occasion being invited to act as the NPCC spokesman on events, local and national, that fit to the portfolio. You've enjoyed the portfolio. You must have done, having been in it 7 or 8 years, I guess. Highlights, lowlights.
I think, yes, I have enjoyed the portfolio, and it's exactly that: coordination, sharing of best practice, not telling people how to do their business locally. I would say for the first 2 or 3 years, it was quite difficult to get traction as I learnt the portfolio. And at that time, there wasn't the same energy that I think there is now in government, in policing and broader, to actually tackle crime and antisocial behaviour and see them together. Highlights, I would say, genuinely the last 2 or 3 years. The focus on town centres, the focus on hotspot policing, the focus on really cracking down on, in partnership, persistent poor behaviour, working with repeat vulnerable victims. We've got some traction now in UK policing and partnership, and so I'm really energised by it. In year 8, and I think we're doing some really good stuff now. There's refreshed training through the neighbourhood policing commitment. We've got a really good best practice bank that's held on. The College of Policing is a UK-wide professional body. A really good best practice bank in there of what works. So it's a good place and an exciting time.
And I know that spoken to others in the College of Policing in this type of recording, and for those overseas that are interested in tapping into some of that learning. Whilst it may or may not be public domain on the College of Policing's website, an approach to the college from an official policing account from overseas will almost certainly gain favour. So well worth bearing that in mind. Let's broaden this now onto challenges and opportunities for policing, not just in Hertfordshire, but nationally, potentially internationally. And I guess I'd like to start on this by just remarking on Policing TV's, Policing Insight's own mission to share good and excellent initiatives in policing wherever they're taking place worldwide with our increasingly international audience. From what you say, there are going to be similarities in the experiences of antisocial behaviour, whether it's in Hatfield in your own jurisdiction, or in Sunderland, or in Perth, Australia. Still going to be antisocial behaviour. Have you seen any change in the opportunities for those in policing to learn from what's going on either outside their own force, or beyond the shores of the United Kingdom?
I, I think we can never do enough of that. We've got to deliver our job, but we should always look further afield and look for challenge and best practice from outside. So how we do that's very different now, of course, because we can talk like this from one part of the world to another. We can exchange views and best practice and evidence digitally. So I think how we gather that is different. But I'm sure we should do more, and I'm sure we should keep challenging ourselves to look for new and innovative ways and look for best practice. And as you say, maybe I do need to visit Western Australia and go and see how they do ASB and policing there.
They
Be a
would be
good thing.
very, very welcoming.
Good for my
The Col Blanche, who is the commissioner in Western Australia, welcomed me for a policing TV recording in his own office, and the hospitality was wonderful, and the insights into policing there, and indeed across Australia and New Zealand. I could go on, but this is not my interview. This is your interview. I'll stop. I'll stop there. But challenges then for policing. In the UK, there's certainly financial. There's no question about that, and some of that is shared further afield. Uh, are there challenges and opportunity for policing in the UK? What do you see over the next 5 years or so, and then potentially further afield?
There are, and I'm a naturally optimistic person. I genuinely believe that policing, there is opportunity to do things well, but there are some real systemic challenges to policing at the moment, I think, in the UK and possibly further afield. Headlines of those: the criminal justice system is under enormous strain. There is not enough capacity, not just in policing, but even more acutely in probation services, the people who receive people out of prison, the people who keep people from offending, as Crown Prosecution Service, the lawyers who bring cases into court, the court system. We've got backlogs in Crown courts of cases, serious charges, 3, 4, 5 years old, and we have real challenges of prison capacity, and a government actively trying to work through all the complexity of that system. And as we do that, and we haven't yet done it yet, and it requires investment, money, and smart thinking, victims are being let down. So that's the challenge, that's a huge challenge. But we can do everything we can do to make it work and look after people now. Similar systemic challenges around mental health. Too much of what policing does is dealing with mental health crisis in the community, where we don't have the skills or expertise, but with a first port of call. And I have cops sat in hospitals with people who are ill, rather than going to catch burglars and attend scenes of people who need our help. And of course, we've got some social tensions. You look in the UK now, some really significant concerns in the community around immigration and how effective immigration policies are. I think legitimately held. And we've also got some behaviours driven by people that are unacceptable and probably driven by racism or xenophobic behaviour, not just about concerns about immigration, that's leading to tension, disorder and concern in communities. So all of that requires policing and thought and intervention, and at the same time as getting on with the day-to-day job of policing in a tight financial environment, we've got lots to grapple with. So I'm an optimistic person, but there's plenty of stuff to keep us busy.
Plenty to keep us busy. Now, I would love to have been able to explore that further, but time is genuinely against us on this. We've had three very full conversations that we'll be publishing on Policing TV. I'll thank you in a moment, specifically, Andy, but I just will offer my usual reminder. Subscribe to the Policing TV YouTube channel. It's always nice to have a like or a comment. And go and have a look at Policing Insight as well. So plenty there for the policing professional, as it were. So, but Andy, I am going to close this now by, first of all, thank you for three fascinating recordings, each of just over 10 minutes or so. If you've not seen the early ones, go and take a look at them if you're viewing this at the moment. Much I would love to explore further. And just before I let you go, I am going to leave with you, not inviting a reply at this stage, but the potential that I'd love to be able to come back and just see whether there are areas that we could explore in more detail, should the time allow. But for the time being, Chief Constable Andy Profit, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.